Greetings, this is Love Linux OS coming at you again with another video, just informative video. This time it's going to be something unique because normally you hear on Cowboy Picture people say HOSS. What's up, HOSS? How you doing, HOSS? And you know, that's just a way of greeting, you know what I'm saying, or saying, you know, calling somebody, giving somebody a generic name to your fellow man. But I'm hoping that I've taken this acronym and created or coined a new phrase for the open source community. So HOSS, what is it? Well, I talked about it, you know, the general meaning, but as far as open source goes, hardware plus open source software, and you get HOSS. And basically what that is there's so many open source projects, you know, steaming out there now, from books to poems to legal documentation, you name it right now, hardware, software. There's a lot of open source projects available. And so what HOSS is taking marrying the two, hardware and software, both components of computer technology, together and open it up for everybody to see. I remember one time when it was like, just to get your hands on or get to the inside, it was a well-kept secret about the integrations of the circuits on the computer board, or integrated circuits on the computer board, the little IC chips. So now all of this stuff is being opened up and just being turned loose upon the masses for a relatively inexpensive price. You know, it's amazing. You can get a system that rivals just what was the high run just a decade ago, and it fits into the palm of your hand right now. You know, most of our smartphones are more powerful than my first computer, which was a K575 AMD chip. You know, I still have it today, the processor. And then I thought I was doing great when I went to an AMD, what was it, 3D Now technology, the 586. And I just knew at that point in time, I had the fastest thing going. It was a 400 megahertz. And I just knew it couldn't get no better than that, the K6. I just knew it was just going to be, that was going to be the limitation, because I could dual boot. I could have, you know, 98 really popping, really jumping, and a copy of Mandrake back then running. I preferred Mandrake over Red Hat for the simplicity of the partitioning. But you know, as I gotten used open source better, it doesn't matter now. You know, I like just open source systems, pick up something and learn about it. So, you know, I was just out there thinking, I said, well, what if you search, you Google for open source project, what will come up? And here it is. In about a half a second, a little over half a second, you get nearly 3,271,000,000 results. That's a lot of pages to go through. And you know that the deeper you go into the pages, you know, the more redundancy it is. So we know that this is not 271 different projects. Could be subtopics, related topics. The same project can be showing up several different times. It's just how the algorithm for Google is producing the results. But it's still overwhelming and fascinating how fast it works. And that's another, you know, hey, a big component to using open source products and making open source products available is Google, and what Google Incorporated is doing. So let's look. You even have the open source initiative now. That stuff wasn't here, you know, just not too long ago. You know, if you come here and you just look about what this company is about and when it was, you know, started. And it say 1998. This is when I first started with the technology. So, you know, when it first everything broke out in the early 90s, you know, it took time to get certain things going. Now logos are showing up. It's just amazing how everything about, you know, the open source community is just growing, and it's like a freight train or a locomotive picking up steam, you know, and it's just taking its time. You know, I remember the story, the little train that I think I can. But it finally picked up stream and got over all them hurdles and humps. And now you just got name brand people like NVIDIA, IBM, Hewlett Packard, Canon. Everybody has some type of support. You got to take your hat off to Lexmark for being one of the first printer. I remember they were the first printer manufacturer that started offering Linux drivers. So, you know, everybody that took a chance to step out there with this technology now is reaping the rewards and the benefits. And it's funny, it's ironic. You know I can't be sued by telling the truth. And Microsoft even themselves have to support open source right now. They have to allow for virtualization support of all these different open source products within their service. Hey, you got to compete. You know, they might not want to open source, you know, some of their older technology, some of the things, but I think it would behoove Microsoft to open source XP, and when they get ready to discontinue that product or no longer support it, I think it would do them a wealth of good to say, all right, here's the code. This is what we did with it. What would they be telling on themselves and some of their copyright infringements? You know, so you look at this, and this is Wikipedia. You know, you go here and you get a list of all the open source hardware projects. And this is just the marrying together of computer system. You got the BeagleBoard. And you know, we go here and it's telling you what BeagleBoard is a little bitty tiny computer that's right here ready to run, and you can pretty much have your powerful computer and that doesn't take up any space. You know, since it's going in detail playing their videos, because you can come here yourself and play all this information. You know, you have all these different stuff. This one laptop per child. You know, and I just thought this is an amazing project. One laptop per child. That's been around for a while, and they're basically making sure that in rural areas around the world, in some of, you know, the most indigenous spots, you know, education is happening about technology all over, you know, and it's just amazing, you know, how one laptop, this little device right here is educating kids from all over the world, and you know, and they can communicate back and forth. And it was since 2007. So hey, I think that's nice. It's an excellent, awesome project. Even with, you know, with all the rave now that's going into 3D printing, you know, we got RepRap, which is RepRap, which is basically the 3D printer that prints itself. How awesome is that? Once you get this printer up and going and built, the first one, then you got the ability to print out all the parts needed to put together all the plastic parts for the next printer that you put together. I thought that was an awesome idea and awesome project. You know, right now, you know, they cost about what a personal computer would cost back in the early 90s. You know, about $1,000. You know, you could a brand new computer PC was right around $1,000. So this project is about $1,000 project, but it's amazing when it used to be about a $10,000 project to have a 3D printer. You know, that was just nothing that could be done at the house. You know, that's not feasible. That wasn't feasible for the home computer user to have a 3D printer. And we just keep going. And here's another main staple. Raspberry Pi. You know, you keep hearing people talking about this. You can get going. You know, there's you know, for beginners, experience, they got a lot of instructive video, how to set up, how to power it up. And pretty much for about less than $100. I think it's about $75, 75 euros. I don't know the translation to American dollars, 63 or something like that. But that's hardly anything to be paying, you know, for a computer. You can get a Raspberry Pi kit and you got a whole computer. All you need is the screen. I just think that's just it's amazing and just how affordable it is right now, you know, so that you can purchase and have a computer and learn how to program on a computer and learn every single thing it is about that computer. I spent, quite a bit of money, and I'm still spending money to learn about computers because I'm working on my EDD, or my doctorate program now. So I'm still in debt. But it's just the fact that there's how the internet has grown and the information that's out there. And no, everything on the internet is not accurate. But the fact that you have quite a bit of good resources and reputable sources out there now on the internet, it's a whole nother world. It's a whole nother world out there. So even now this is one project that is picking up a lot of buzz out here on Kickstarter. And I opened Kickstarter in their own little browser right now, because this is where you can go and get, if you have an open source idea, then this is where you go to put your idea out there to gain money. If you want to, even movies and screenplays. So if you want to bring your creativity to life, this is where you do it right here. Start at Kickstarter. And this is the kid's computer. What's amazing about this thing, Kano, is that it started out right here with a goal of $100,000. You see how much money they have, how many backers they have, how much money they have raised at $119 a pop. This is so freaking amazing to me. $1.5 million. And it's a computer anyone can make, but it's designed specifically with the kids again in mind. How amazing is that for our future generation when it comes to technology? And then if you go to their website, and I had to show, just like I showed everybody else's website, but this is very intuitive. I mean, this is very creative, very nicely developed. And if a kid come and scroll through, and I'm just rolling my mouse button and scroll through this website and just see this being done, and the explanation that comes with it, I'm not going to sit here and read it like I did the first time. I just thought it was just amazing. It's just nice technology. I give people props when they do something really nice, and this is very creative. Hey, my hats off to the developers, the webmaster. If it was a team, a group, or just one individual, this is a very slick website. I don't mind sharing it. As a matter of fact, I don't mind sharing it or tweeting it right now. Let's go. Come back to it. I'll come back to it later and tweet it out. But I don't mind sharing that because that is very slick. And this is having headways. Arduino. I hope I'm saying it right. Arduino. Basically is just like the integrated circuits, open source integrated circuitry, and it's right there. The software is available for Windows, Mac, and Linux. So it doesn't matter what type of circuitry you have, what type of desktop environment you're using, or platform that you're on. You have this little integrated circuitry, and you can do it's pretty much. The product line is to get sensors for whatever you need. If you want to build a robot, you can start here. If you want a kit, you can start here. Whatever you may need in all the different accessories that you probably want to put on your open source gadget that you're building, there's all the parts and pieces right there for you. And that once you program it, and that's it. You get the software and you program the circuitry, and then from there you tell the circuitry what you want it to do. So you can make a robot with it. You can make light sensors. It's no telling what all you can do. And I know I'm not getting none of these projects a real thorough justice, but my whole point of making this video was just to say, hey, here it is. There's hardware plus software, and it's all open source. So you have your HOSS. And you can go out there and get started with a HOSS project today for a little pennies on the dollar. My first computer, $500 or $600 to put it together myself, and I'm telling you, the processor and cell phones have more memory, more space than the first one that I built, and it's in a fraction of the size. From the desktop, a 75 megahertz processor, and 10 gig hard drive. Well, you can get that pretty much in a flash drive right now. So even still, and it may not even been 10 gigs. It could have been 2 gigs, and you still thought back then when I first put it together, hey, that was a lot of space. Wow, that was big. But okay, here it is, HOSS. Go out there and get yourself an open source project, get started, and get to working and learning. This is another presentation, informative video by L. Bennett Turner, better known as Love Linux OS. I thank you all and be blessed.